What's up guys, this is Max and this is my breakdown of my Peru, specifically Cusco and Machu Picchu trip following off of my Ecuador and Galapagos trip in 5 minutes or less. After a very long layover from Guayaquil, I flew down to Lima where you could see all these ships in the sea, I guess waiting to port. This airport was interesting because they had us actually bust from the taxiway down to the terminal, which made it unconventional in that case. And just like before, to get on my next flight, I had a very tight turnaround in order to get everything done. Start boarding in probably about half an hour. Me and my new friend Maddie have been running through this Lima airport so quickly that I forgot to even film. And so we had to spend time to enter the country, wait for our bags, get checked back in, check our bags again, and get back through security, and then make it to the gate. And there's no telling how long those lines actually ended up being, but we made it just in the nick of time. All right, we landed in Cusco. It's time to head to the hostels and good time. A couple of us shared an Uber to get downtown where my hostel was. So I stayed in the Viajandro hostel, which was very bustling with all kinds of activities going on seemingly every single night, which was very cool, and they were very good with accommodating travelers and all kinds of activities to do in the area. So I was a little excited to meet people, which is like 12 beds. This is my bed here. Everything fit just fine. I have a new friend, Beatriz. Tengo un amigo nuevo. And maybe there's a party in the basement, so we're gonna figure that out. For this night in particular, they had this burger party going on, and this is where I got to check out the area and meet some of the other travelers. This day in particular was going to be my free day in Cusco, where I first started out checking out the plaza via this cafe place that I found. There's also this procession parade going on, which seemed to be like it was honoring a lot of the public servants of all types in the country. They have this free walking tour service that was in the middle of the plaza, and the only one available in this morning was a Spanish-speaking one. So given that he was going to speak pretty slowly and clearly, I decided to take that one up and follow this guy around. We learned that Cusco used to be the capital of the Incan Empire and went around learning about a lot of the churches and then went into the more tighter part of the city, and this is where he seemed to get stopped by police. I guess because he wasn't fully licensed to give the full tour, but he was pretty sure of providing that evidence to us, but you know, it's neither here nor there. Since that one was a bus and it got cut short, we later went on one that was in English, and this one was a lot better, where we got to see a lot of the Incan stone art in the wall. If you see in some of these pictures here, this is where you can see things like a puma or a snake or whatever, and they're still standing to this day. I guess this guide was a friend of one of the shop owners if you happen to be in Cusco.
Okay, baby, Asunta, no confused with other place. No. Baby, Asunta.
This guide took us all the way to the top of the mountain here to see the smaller, nicer, quaint part of the city as well. And I had some plenty of walking around after the fact. By the way, here's a quick little tour of the hostel that we were in. It seems to take up an entire block, as it seems to go into infinity. For the activity this night, we had a little bit of a ping pong tournament that was pretty fun. And I had to get up early for my Machu Picchu day. So I ordered this shuttle and train combination that I'm not sure if I would recommend in the future, but I had to get up at 4 or so a.m. to take us to this town called Otavalo. That's when we hopped on the train, shuttled by Peru Ways, and I had to get my ticket there. And then once the sun started to come up, you could see how much it was raining way too much. So that was getting a little worrying. Once we did arrive into the actual town, I got my bearings and got some reservations together and bussed up to the actual entrance to Machu Picchu. During most of the time here, as it was super foggy, I talked to these Chileans as we climbed. Eventually, as it cleared up, we could finally get the signature photo that everybody gets. And then as it cleared up as best it could be, I took the time walking through the ruins and the majesty of the mountain and seeing these 1,000-year-old relics. I originally signed up for what's called the Route 3 hike, but due to the rain, they had to close that one down, so I was going through Route 2, which was mostly through the ruins. I ended up taking a bus back down to check out the Aguas Calientes town and had a little bit of cafe time as I did some shopping for some souvenirs and gifts. I did the long ride back the way down I came and saw the benediction of Christ, which was interesting. We hung out a bit more before bedtime, and that completed the Machu Picchu day. For the very last day, I walked around a bit more for some last minute shopping, and I also had to use the very last of my Peruvian soles, or else, you know, they would become useless. This is bringing me to the very end of my very long South America trip, where Cusco Airport was definitely on the more boring side, as I was there for many hours and waited to get over to Bogota, which was a big refresher, where these crazy inflationary prices. And from there, my flights back were pretty much a mirror of how I got there, driving back down, and finally arriving home. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.